Hello, I'm Adriana, physiotherapist and yoga instructor, and today's video will be a trauma-informed yoga sequence for core strength. So jump into something comfy, grab your mat, and we'll get started. I invite you to join me lying on your back today. We will be starting this sequence by practicing some breathing. So in your own time, make your way onto your back. You can lie in whatever way feels good for you. I will be lying with my feet flat on the ground, as this can provide a little bit more support to the low back. You can choose whether or not you would like your eyes to remain open, or if you would prefer to close them. Perhaps just gaze gently at the roof. This will be a core strengthening yoga sequence. Remember that you are your best teacher. You can choose to participate in any of the sequence that feels good to you. If you decide you would rather just lie on your back or lie in a comfortable position, that is 100% okay. So I invite you to place your hands on your hip bones that are just below the stomach. Once your hands are there, try and see if you can get your breath that deep. Maybe taking a nice big inhale, perhaps noticing as the stomach rises and you feel your breath down around your hands. And if you don't feel like you can get your breath that deep, that's 100% okay. This is just one form of breathing that we'll practice to help get some muscles moving that we'll be using in this core sequence. Taking 1 or 2 moments here to see, can you get that breath that deep? Maybe noticing as the hands rise and fall with the breath. And if you're up for it, I invite you to take your hands and wrap them around your side body, just by where those hip bones are and wrapping around the side. And I invite you to see, can you get your breath into your side body? So not only can you get it deep into the belly, can you also feel your side body expand as you breathe in? Once again, if you can't feel it, that is 100% okay. You can breathe in whatever way is comfortable for you. Maybe trying one more breath this way. And if it feels good, taking the hands just under the low back, and maybe seeing, can you feel your breath get all the way into your back body? Can you notice your back expand into the ground beneath you as you inhale? Perhaps noticing the rib cage expand. Just taking a second to breathe in the way that feels best for you. I welcome you to place your arms in a comfortable position. We'll work on activating a few more muscles here. So bringing the left leg up in the air. And if it feels good, bringing the right leg up too. Holding both legs in the air. Gently tucking the chin. From here, taking a few breaths. Maybe feeling the muscles of the legs and the core and the back working. And if you're up for it, I invite you to keep the right leg up, but slowly lower the left leg with the knee bent so that you're touching your toe gently on the ground. Gentle tap. Once you feel that toe tap, bring that left leg back up, keeping that chin nice and long, neck nice and long, chin tucked. And in your own time, if it feels good, lowering that right leg in the same way as the left, knee bend, gently touching that right foot. Once it touches the mat, come back up. Perhaps trying one more time each side, lowering that left leg, tapping the toes on the mat or the ground. Coming back up. One more time in your own time, lowering that right leg, tapping the right toes. And coming back up. Taking one more deep breath with the legs up if that feels good for you. Maybe exhaling with the mouth open. Lowering the legs in your own time, making your way onto your hands and knees. We'll take a second here to work through some cat-cows, inviting some movement into our spine and our back. Separating the fingers nice and wide, pushing the ground away from you on the tops of your feet. If you're joining in the cat-cow, in your own breath and in your own time, you can lower the belly to the ground, bringing the neck up, gaze up. On the next breath, rounding the spine, tucking the tailbone under. Moving through a few of these in a way that feels good and comfortable to you. Remembering that you always have the choice to stop. You always get to choose what works for you. I'm going to take one more cat-cow here. And if you're joining me, coming back to a tabletop position, neutral spine. Perhaps trying that nice deep breath that we just did in our back, but in this position. When you're ready, lifting the right arm so that it goes up above your head in line with your ear, holding there. Trying to keep that right hip down. Bringing the right arm down in your own time. Same thing on the left side. Bring that left arm up in line with the ear, keeping that left hip down. Breathing. Lowering the left hand. Resetting back to tabletop. This time, bringing the right leg back. So you're going to put more of your weight on the left side of your body as you bring that left leg straight back behind you, holding it up, neck nice and long. Bringing that right leg back. Same thing on the other side. A little bit more weight on the right side of your body. Left leg goes back. Bringing it back down. And we're going to be doing the arm and the leg at the same time. So if you want to join in on this, you can join in with me. I invite you to bring the right arm up and the left leg back. So you're going to be balancing on that left hand, pushing the ground away from you, balancing through that right lower leg, neck nice and long. Maybe you relax the face muscles. One more breath here. Coming back down. Repeating on the other side. Left arm goes up, right leg goes back, balancing on that right hand and left lower leg. Remembering you get to choose, you can come down whenever you'd like. Neck nice and long. One more breath. On the next exhale, coming back down, moving into a child's pose. So bringing the knees wide, bringing the hips back, and you can bring your arms in any way that feels good. You might bring them up ahead of you. Perhaps you rest your forehead on the ground. Maybe the arms go behind you. Taking a second here to relax and reset. Making your way back to tabletop in your own time. We'll move into a downward dog here. So bring the arms a little bit more forward. Spread those fingers nice and wide. Go on the balls of your feet. When you're ready, bringing the hips back and up behind you. Taking one breath here. Moving through a few leg movements. So bringing the left knee up to the chest, leaning the body forward. Coming back to downward dog. Repeating the same thing on the right side. Right knee goes to chest. Making your way up to standing in whatever way feels good for you. Perhaps walking, perhaps jumping. You might decide to roll up. Maybe you just decide to stand. Choosing whatever your body is asking for of you. Once you're at the top of your mat, grounding down through your feet, focusing on the weight in the heels, as well as through the balls of the feet, standing nice and tall. Mountain pose. If you'd like, bring the arms up above your head, placing the hands together, leaning the body to the left, hip goes right, getting a gentle stretch through the right side of the body. One more breath here. Coming back to center. If it feels good, repeating the same thing on the other side. Arms go to the right, hips go left. Gentle stretch through the left side of the body. If you're not feeling a stretch, that's 100% okay. One more breath. Coming back to center. If your arms are up, I invite you to bring them down. And we'll make our way down into a plank in whatever way works for you. You can join me if you'd like. I'll be flowing down. If you're joining me, I invite you to bring your arms up above your head. Rolling down one vertebrae at a time until the arms are resting on the ground. If they don't reach the ground, if this does not feel good for your back, you can find another way down, or you cannot reach as far. Maybe you bring the hands to the shins, flattening the back a little bit, gazing towards the ground. Maybe you place those hands on the ground and you bring the legs behind you. If you're already down on the ground and you'd like to join in plank, I invite you to come into that position now. Up on the hands, pushing the ground away from you. You are strong. You are capable. You have the choice to join or to not join. You can always bring the knees down if you'd like, staying in a different variation of plank. You're still with me in the plank. I invite you to bring that right knee up behind the right arm. Bring it back down. Bring the left knee behind the left arm. Bring it back down. One more breath. Bringing the knees down in your own time. Maybe doing some gentle movements with the body. Maybe you were shaking like I was in that. That's totally fine. Different variations are going to feel different for everyone. If you are in a tabletop position, I invite you to scoot so you are sitting backwards, and we'll come into a seated position. We're going to go into boat pose from here, and we'll do a couple different variations. I'll show you multiple different ways. So one way you might decide to do this is keeping your feet on the ground, your knees slightly wider than the feet, keeping the back body nice and long. Breathing here, holding this variation. If you would like, you might decide to bring the arms up as well, as if you're holding a nice big beach ball in front of you. Focusing on the breath if that feels good for you. If you'd like a different variation, you can put the arms down and bring the legs up, whether or not they are bent or they are straight, your choice. And then another variation could be to take the arms off with the legs bent or straight, your choice. You can always lie down or go in a seated, comfortable position, whatever works for you. We'll do 2 more breaths wherever you are. In your own time, coming out of whatever variation you chose. If you're joining me in a seated forward fold, you can straighten your legs. If you have a pillow or blanket handy, you can always put them underneath the legs if you'd like a gentle bend, or just bend the knees slightly. From here, keeping the back nice and long, I invite you to bend forward. Maybe noticing a stretch in the back of the legs, perhaps in your back body. Coming back up when you're ready, we'll move through that boat pose one more time. Once again, you can choose whichever variation works for you. Coming back into whichever one you'd like. Once again, feet on the ground, knees slightly wider than the feet, arms in whatever position you'd like, but beach ball is an option. Second one, arms down, feet up, or legs straight, or the same thing with the arms up, your choice. Two more breaths here. One more breath. You got this. Lowering whenever you would like. Making your way onto your back for a final resting variation. knowing that whatever parts of the sequence you decided to join in, you made that choice. You chose what worked best for your body today. It doesn't matter if you did everything or a few things or decided to lie down or sit for the whole video. All the choices are valid. You listened to whatever you needed today, and that is always a great choice. If you're still with me, bringing the knees to the chest for one gentle back stretch here. Knees come in. Maybe you rock a little bit side to side, giving that back a bit of a massage. Maybe you just hold the legs in. Whatever works. Going into the final resting position, whatever that looks like for you today. Might be lying down straight in Shavasana. Maybe you have a blanket or a pillow. Maybe you'd like to stay sitting. You can decide. Thank you so much for practicing with me today.